Hello everyone and welcome to the Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Today a very quiet market day, something I don't like at all because usually when it's too quiet, it's just before the storm. We don't know what kind of storm, not yet. I hope we will figure it out together in today's analysis. However, something I want to share with you because that's really nice. The weights ratio 30 days moving average is declining now. I mean, that happened this year or at least end of last year when we did a very huge dump afterwards. We will see. I mean, that just indicates they are done. They are not sending more and more bitcoins. Whales are not sending more and more bitcoins to the exchanges. It's declining, so they are done with whatever they prepared. And usually the whales ratio, like the name tells you, it's not really bullish. So something like a spring, or maybe they are preparing to make a sell off at 35. We need to see. That's the thing with the weights ratio. It's just indicating they will send bitcoins to the exchanges, but of course not telling you for what purposes, for example. So yeah, Ben, Professor Mean-Eyed Bannon or Bean Altstein. Hi, brother. Just I say hello if you're watching this video. First of all, like Justin, extremely smart guys and bringing a lot of stuff to the crypto community. So thank you very much for your support, of course. And he was sharing today the Gags Plus from the Kingfisher, and it looks like we are going to see a nice rising volatility. If that's going to happen, and in my opinion, we are still in a redistribution phase based on Wyckoff's theory. And Wyckoff's theory just say volatility and redistribution happens in the beginning and in the end of the phase. So if that's really going to happen, and that could explain why the situation in the market is so quiet since yesterday, if that's going to happen, for me, that's not going to be very bullish because the redistribution is a pre-transition or that transition from the distribution to the accumulation. That means we will shift to a lower level. It doesn't mean we are going to fall to 22 or even to 25. It may be 27 or 28. That's what market makers and the big whales actually where they expect or like to accumulate, and we will shift to this level, start to accumulate, and afterwards lift up when everybody is in disbelief. So and for me, that's a very possible scenario that many people, as soon as we start to decline hard and aggressively, and that's part of the transition from the redistribution to the um, accumulation phase, because we will have, yeah, as mentioned, high volatility, big buy but also sell resistance. It will be very dynamic, very aggressive, and then we will nuke, and then we will maintain there. They will start to absorb from many retailers. All these people, they have accumulated bitcoins in the last few months, and even at 27 and 28, and didn't sell any of their bitcoins. Their goal will be to bring all these people to capitulate and to sell in panic. So we will see what's going to happen. It could be very exciting, but of course, I don't know yet if we are going up first and then down hard. Possible, more space to nuke and to generate fear, or if we are going to nuke directly from here. We need to see. But in case really that volatility is going to rise based on Wyckoff's theory about the redistribution, means we are going to shift to the accumulation, and that's the most exciting part, because when everybody is in fear and when everybody is expecting a lower range is where we need to buy to prepare ourselves for the next bull run, or at least an exit rally. I don't care as long we go up again. So we will see what's going to happen next, and I really hope that we are going to detect something useful today. So let us start first with the wealth ratio chart. And as you see here, the wealth ratio declined, dumped to zero once. That's the 1 hour. Of course, it's not the 1 day. That would be extremely bullish then. Unfortunately, it didn't happen to the 1 day wealth ratio. It's the 1 hour wealth ratio. But however, the last time that happened, we did this fake rally. So that's actually something we should have in mind. That happened here. I'm not sure if that plays out here. Not sure, because it's a 1 hour time frame. That's not necessarily, yeah, it doesn't. That just reflects that whales are planning something. They are planning, and that's usual bullish. So when the whales ratio 1 hour dumps like it did here 4 times, and afterwards you have such kind of fake rally, that's what they planned before. And we need to see if that's going to happen like last time. We know we are going to go up again. But even one time dump, like we can see here, could also indicate that we are going to go up again. Maybe to retest that area of 32.3 or something, 33 even, to dump afterwards. We need to see. It's too early right now to tell what could be behind that. However, the wealth ratio 30 hours moving average was lifting up over 92. That was very high. I have mentioned that. And yeah, what should I say? It happened again. So, like a little bit expected and forecasted, that I have said we need to see what's going to happen in that level. It was looking very weak, and well, I missed it again because as European, I am almost always missing the nukes, unfortunately. So it happened again, and we need to see what's going to happen next. Also, not that bearish is the fact that the stablecoin reserves on exchanges is lifting up. And if we take a look here, it looks organic. And it means it doesn't look like the centralized exchanges just refilled their stablecoin reserves because they are expecting big demand, or I don't know, or a sell off or whatever. And even the stablecoin supply is lifting up a little bit, indicating they are minting right now more than burning. Even if I have detected big 190 millions burned by BUSD, Binance USD. So, however, but we need to see. So let us take a look to the flow activity. Well, also here we see, let me, as usual, so we see here that more stable coins are coming in, but at the same time, if I take out, let me just disable that one and that one, and you see every time, I don't know, I mean, why that happens, but every time someone sold, I mean, they are taking profit here, okay? So that's something you see here. For example, they took profit here, so they sold the way up, even the top, And afterwards, oh, that wasn't really smart, Inspo. And afterwards, we received a lot of stablecoins again because, and that's really the smart way, they start to buy. They buy that here and even maybe a little bit here, that range. So they start to buy all here to lift up afterwards again, to sell the way up again, and to let it dump. And they did it exactly the same. They distributed, they took profit, and sent again stablecoins to buy the dip afterwards. I guess it's not the same person or the same traders are different, but big players because we are talking here about yeah, so 500 million, and also here we are talking about 250 million and even a little bit more. So yeah, 300 million and so on and so forth. And right now the stablecoin inflows is rising again. So another 82 million came in while an outflow of 70 million. So as you see here, the stablecoin net flow looks very green, not that big. We are not talking like in December or even in January with 800 million stablecoin inflows. It's not that big anymore. However, the volume declined since then as well. So, and even the spot inflows. Oh, that's not the one, but this one. So if I start to disable this one, you see we have tiny but a lot of movement. Um, Today, the biggest volume, it seems, yeah, was here 1,500 Bitcoin. Um, and since we reached again our yeah, local bottom or at 30K, and we started to lift up again, yeah, just everything below of this amount, 1,100 Bitcoin here, and even here 1,170 Bitcoin, here 1,300 Bitcoin. So nothing big anymore, but yeah, it seems it's enough. I guess they will, as usual, use OTC, Binance, and futures. Of course, we need to see what happened to the future market, if we can see their big Bitcoin inflows and maybe also stablecoin inflows. And that's what we are going to do now next. And before I go forward, because I have said Justin and Ben Alstein, thank you very much for the support and for the yeah, community support. I I really I missed someone and I never mentioned him, but I would like to make that mainly for those who are on Discord, my Discord. Mandalore the Liberator is actually the mod there, and he is doing also a great work and service for all members there. And I would like to say thank you very much also for that, for all your time that you are spending for the people there. And yeah, so thank you very much. I just wanted to say that because yeah, he is part of the Inspo fam, and I really appreciate the time he's spending for all Discord members and even on Twitter. Um, so let us go forward here with what's happening with the future market related to Bitcoin. And I checked this chart again, and it seems different pages and different websites are showing different funding rates, even aggregated, but that's something that let me struggle once again because CoinGlass shows the funding rate every 8 hours, and that's something that makes sense because that's what the market, what the exchanges are also doing, just to generate the funding rate every 8 hours. But CryptoQuant is not doing that. It's not every 8 hours. It's sometimes every hour. It depends. It seems as soon as they detect some change. So what we can see here is that since yesterday the funding rate went up, it's declining right now and lifted up again a little bit. And we need to see what's going to happen here because, yeah, with the recent market moves, the funding rate was following it a little bit. While we can see here the open interest indicating they wrecked a lot of people once again, and even the leverage ratio uh, declined a lot. So a little bit following the open interest, and that's interesting because it tells us that they liquidated a lot of high leverage longs and just longs and shorts, but at the end longs. And that's something you should have in mind. I mean, maybe you have uh, I don't know, a money printer at home and you don't care. I don't. I need to work for my money. And yeah, I don't know how that works, how people can trade with high leverage like Robert loves to do, but he is an expert in that. I really, wow, it's crazy, but if you know how to do it, it's not my game, to be honest. So if we take a look now here to the stablecoins, today it looks really flat and I would say almost neutral. A lot of red indicating they took profit. Some stablecoins came in, but nothing big, really nothing big anymore. And we see here 40 millions in, 80 millions out, 60 millions in, 30 millions out, 36 millions in, 58 millions out. That's really low. That would be worst case when also the future market is going to decline now after the spot demand declined. For exchanges, that would be a challenge to maintain alive with that. So yeah, that would be crazy. I don't think that's going to happen, and I hope it's not going to happen. So we will see. And even here, I mean, look that compared to what we have seen just before, that's relatively flat. I mean, we received now just 1,000 Bitcoin an hour ago and 560 Bitcoin outflow, 600 Bitcoin inflow, but 700 Bitcoin outflow, 2,200 Bitcoin inflow, but 1,300 Bitcoin on. So absolutely not big at all, and that explains maybe also why the market is that quiet. They are just taking a breath, it seems, for the next big move. And yeah, usually my experience tells me that's not really cool when that happens. Then a follower told me yesterday they did it again, and that's something I really don't know how that works. Yesterday, one follower was telling me, hey, Inspo, what you mentioned about the shorts is happening today again. That was really just close before I turned off my PC and before I just went to bed. And I checked that, and he was right. We had a little bit, it was actually the same or a little bit more shorts than longs. And that's really crazy because usually the funding rate should lift up, should decline even more, and it wasn't. It wasn't. It was lifting up actually more, and that happened twice. I don't know how that works. I mean, usually when you are demanding more shorts than longs, the funding rate should decline. It's not possible to maintain 1.5 billion in longs at 600 million in shorts, but the funding rate is not following. It's not reacting. It doesn't make any sense. Absolutely not. I check CryptoQuant, I check CoinGlass, but we had more shorts than longs the second time, and afterwards we nuked. And I really don't know how that works. I mean, I don't have any. I can't explain that. However, you see, we still have 900 million in shorts on Binance and 1.5 billion in longs at the same time. Well, Bitfinex, come on, 2.7 billion in longs and 79 millions in shorts. But for that, you can see also here that's wow. I mean, 85% versus 15%. What's going on? These guys are hedging and selling a lot, or I don't know, or maybe they're expecting the next ready. I really don't know here, but that's why I mean, many people are always asking, hey, Inspo, did you see the longs there? Yeah, and I have explained a lot of times that Bitfinex has a new feature. They can hide orders. We can see many orders if they are buying, if they are selling, whatever. This CBD is very low compared to the size of Bitfinex because Bitfinex it's big and I mean just take a look to the longs, 2.7 billion. That's really not small volume. So I'm sometimes really struggling with Bitfinex, and that's why I yeah don't want to take care about, to be honest. And for me, it's more Binance because also the market makers using Binance due to the liquidity. And as you see also here, 68% versus 31%, 62% versus 38%, just a lot more longs than shorts. And if we take a look, for example, to Bitfinex Multi, wow. Let us check. I didn't see that. Oh, yeah. Not enough funds? What the hell is wrong with you? Okay, FTX. I have 34 tokens here. So, but to be honest, thank you very much, the Kingfisher. I'm not paying any cent. I'm always using here the spin. And just because you are not accepting any credit card or something, only crypto, and I know. Shame on me. I need to make this. I will do that. I promise. So, yeah, what should I say? I mean, the volume rised a lot. I was checking FTX today. It was almost at 120 million. Now it's indicating 250 million. That's really big. And look shorts and look longs. I mean, looks nice. Nothing can end wrong here, I guess. I mean, that's crazy. That's really crazy. And I mean, take a look, 225 million. I mean, just Jesus, billions are here. And unfortunately, I still have problems. I couldn't activate my credit card, so I still don't see exchange walls, and that's why I did a pause to all um, pay subscriptions. So today's video is also for free for everyone. I'm sorry for that. I really hope I can fix that as soon as possible because exchange walls is part of my daily analysis. I need that. But yeah, it is how it is. Let us take a look to Bitfinex. Show me Bitfinex. I mean, Bitfinex should have a huge bar on the left side and nothing on the right side. Let us take a look. If that's the case. No, it's not. That doesn't make sense, to be honest. How does that work if they have 2.7 billion versus 90 million? I mean, are they here trading with leverage 500? They are surprising me. They are really surprising me. Well, however, high leveraged longs, very close to our current price, and even here, big, really big. I don't know why Kingfisher is changing this volume here. 0.0006 million? I don't know. And Binance the same. Let us take a look to Binance. And come on, the Kingfisher. Oh, come on. I bet the bird is faster than your server. Huh. Okay. Then we will talk about my life and my personal issues. No, we will not. But yeah, it doesn't work. Ah, now we have that. Wait. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, even then I would wonder. But yeah, that makes sense. However, you see also here we are on the long side once again, so nothing changed unfortunately. So let us talk about option trading, and maybe we see there something that is useful. Well, first of all, the 30k gamma call and put wall maintains there. The calls just declined a little bit. And yeah, so everything is very concentrated on 30k and even 32k. And the 25 has declined a lot, and even the 28 keeps there. But for me, 30k, 32k, that's the too big. And if we take a look here, that's really crazy. I mean, the gags, as you see, it lifted up a lot. I mean, right now at 31,000, everything above, as you see here, 79,000. What happened afterwards? We declined. Even here, we were at 57,000. It declined. 59,000. It declined. And we need to see what's going to happen next. But yeah, it's rising again, and at the moment, oh, 45. Okay, 45,000. That's yeah. We're still. It's okay. It's not critical. It's okay, but if we are going to live up more, for example, 33k, then I would expect at least a dump, if not a hard one. So let us see. For this week, as we see as well, for example, the top instruments looks more bullish, so more calls. For example, here everything for June we have 34K, 32K, 33K, 30K, so everything is calls, and that's why the GAX is lifting up again. And yeah, we still have here puts 28K, but for July, 26K also for July, and puts 30K for June. However, last week, and that was also for June, was extremely bearish. 25K, 26K, and they are still alive. So they didn't close all these options, and we need to be very careful with that. We can take a look just in case of. That was, sorry. Well, let us take a look to act, no, option flows. Well, yeah, okay, it's not that big. Someone closed some puts at 25K, but as you see, call 31K. Okay, wow. Well, September, I don't care about September, and that was June. June, June, yeah. December puts 20K. And that's so out of the money. Okay. So if we take a look, for example, here, open interest changed 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, we still have, yeah, a lot of puts 26K, but it seems they reduced the 25K, 26K, still there, and puts 28K K also since yesterday. I mean, in the last 24 hours, we can take a look to the week, and we can see that in the whole week we have received, and that's the biggest, actually the biggest instrument is called 32K. Of course, and wow, that's crazy. 2,900 lots for puts 26K. That's really crazy, and even 2,400 for 28K. Like 2,400 for 34K, and yeah, so it's going to be very exciting. It seems that even option traders are struggling, so we need to see what strategy they are going um, to trade, because that's, in my opinion, the most accurate part. We have bull diagonal spread puts 1 million, long straddle also almost 1 million, and short put butterfly, wow, almost 500,000. And those three instruments or strategies are for us now interesting. Let us take a look to the biggest one. So, hmm, let us see. We have here, okay, put 28K instead of put 29K. He spent the double in money just to make this strategy, just to buy it, but at the same time to refinance the 29K put. Let us take a look here, for example. Also here the same. Instead, okay, that's crazy. Wow, what's wrong with this guy? What's wrong with him? Just because of $500 and to postpone by a week, he spent more than the double? I mean, that's one strategy. He's selling one, refinancing, but however, that's really huge. And the same here. Also here. So put 20 and 25. Again, 25 for July now. Okay, that's interesting. Very interesting. So they are indicating a limited potential gain if we go down, but that's very interesting. Puts 30K, they sold puts 30K, and they refinanced with the premium and both puts 25k for July. And we have June, now July. It's going to be very interesting. I would like, let us make this just afterwards. I would like to see if all these 25k puts are still there, because you remember just that wasn't last week, but the week before, we detected for June 1.5 million in premium volume for 25k puts. That was really extremely a lot, and I don't think they closed that, because otherwise I think for the trader was big pain in the ass. So we will see. Maybe they changed. They did something like here a strategy where they have to sell the 25k to buy another instrument. Long straddle. Long straddle always sounds very, very bullish. Okay, volatility 31k. Volatility is confirmed, ladies and gentlemen. And he is spending a lot of money for that. Really a lot. So, but it seems he doesn't know exactly. Volatility 30k, 29k, 31k. Then we will take a look here, and call calendar is just they postponed something, right? Yeah, just for 1 week. So this guy is not expecting to see a price above of 31k until until Friday. Friday is the 10th, is the next expiry, and next week Friday we have this expiry. So he's expecting to see a price above of 31k next week. Oh, that could be, yeah, why not? Short put butterfly, that sounds so extremely you know what. No, not that bearish as I thought. Absolutely not. He sold this here. Let me see if he did that. Yeah, he sold 28k and 32k puts. He did here 54,000, and instead he refinanced those just to for the put 30k. I mean, it's bearish. It's indicating that he is also expecting much more a trend down than up. But we are not talking anymore about 25k, 26k, and that's not that bad. For bulls at least. Call calendar, we had call calendar, custom strategy, the custom strategy is sometimes very interesting. Yeah, here, okay, he solved this, refinanced, nothing where I would say, oh, wait, here something. I mean, it looks bearish. At least they are indicating they are not expecting to see a price above of 31k until Friday, and a little bit more a price going down to 30k and below. So we check activity right now. Let us take a look here for the next expiries. Okay, no, tomorrow expiry I don't care. For the next expiry we have 32k. Oh, that makes me a little bit short-term bullish, to be honest. 32k for Friday. We have a max pain of 30k. Okay, can maybe understand why they are expecting volatility. Does we have something useful here? Not really. Let us take a look here. Also 30k max pain for next week. 24th is the main expiry. 33k max pain. And here we have 5,570 puts for 25k. Wow, and 20k. I mean, 6,000 for puts, for calls, 40k, and 6,008 for. Okay, that's strategy. I mean, last time it wasn't strategy, at least based on the 25k, but this year 60k for the expiry June 24th. I mean, that's extremely out of the money. We don't need to talk about that, but I don't know when they placed these orders because I didn't see them. That I think that was last year. Wow, just wow. So short term, it looks a little bit bearish, indicating we are not going up to 30k, 33k, at least it seems until Friday, and after that it looks a little bit more bullish. So indicating we could go up hitting 32, 33 again, but yeah, we need to see. However, it wasn't that bad today to take a look to the options. And now let us take a look to the remaining chapters. So here we are. Sideway run, the max today was 30,700 again. Afterwards we declined, so they try to maintain right now a price below of 31k it seems, and that's what we can see here. And that's very interesting because automatic rally, we can see here the automatic rally, and then support retest, resistance retest, support retest, resistance retest, and so on and so forth. Something like, yeah, a failed retest, looks like a little spring or something, and also here, for example. So interesting. We need to see what's going to happen here. What's the next? If up or down, not really clear, but not yet at least. We see here that while the price went up, they use it again to distribute. Even not that much like before, and that changed a little bit. They used a lot of Bitcoin margin contracts to push down, so they shorted a lot, and the price looks very accurate to what Bitcoins did here, at least the Bitcoin margin contract. So I would say the last recent pump and dump and fake rally was really mainly driven by Bitcoin margin contracts, of course, stablecoin margin contracts always, and spot. While FTX, yeah, I really don't know what Sam is doing. I really don't know what Sam is doing. He's not buying the dip. He is even buying the top to sell afterwards, and I don't know. I mean, that looks like so we have a different plan. It I would say if that would be, and it is, a big sideway run, they are accumulating to nuke afterwards because that's what institutionals like to make when they are close to bring the capitulation to the market. I mean, if that's not a sideway run, ladies and gentlemen, no, but that's so nonsense what they did. So they missed the dip, they sold even more, and they have started to buy, to rebuy even higher. And I really don't like it, and I don't trust this guys. Absolutely not. While you see, I mean, Binance, or that's the aggregated spot CBD, they sold even more, so it was a whole distribution operation here. They bought here and they started to sell in the different fake rallies, and that makes sense because they used, as I have mentioned with the stablecoins, for example, they sold the tops, and that makes sense. Okay, that really makes sense. You can see that here, you can see that here. They sold the tops, and yeah, that's how it works. But not that here. And that's the point where I say I don't like that. Absolutely, I don't like that. It's like, I don't know. It's like, I mean, yeah, we need to be a little bit creative here, but sideway run, quick accumulation, we are done. Let us, sorry for my wording right now, but let us fuck some retailers. Let us go a little bit up and down crazy and crazy and crazy when people start to say, okay, that's it, we are going to crash. That's what happened last year, but from the beginning to the end. And that's not happening here this time, and that's why I think we are still in a redistribution, but it seems we are very close to go to the accumulation phase. And when that's going to happen, that will be extremely crazy because then we are in lower range. They will generate a lot of fear, a lot of fear, um, because many say 30k bottom is in or 29k bottom is in, and they will surprise a lot of people, I guess, if that plays out. Maybe I'm totally wrong, and they will say you are a perma beer. I don't care. Then I'm a perma beer. Yeah, that's fine. Tell me, call me perma beer. Not beer, beer. Sorry. Um, and that's it. But institutionals like to do exactly what Sam is doing. What should I say? They love that. And we can't compare today's market conditions to last year because last year FTX wasn't accumulating. They bought big at that day when we started to lift up. They just bought. They didn't any big accumulation. I mean, we are talking here about, let me see. And that's just, I mean, that's just the cumulative volume delta, almost 26,000 Bitcoin. That means I'm surely they bought even more. And that's really crazy. That's really crazy. It's just insane. Just insane. So we will see if they are going to do that. I'm so sure that many people will capitulate. And if we check, for example, let us go to the entities, for example, and we have their retailers with less than 1 Bitcoin. They are buying and buying and buying. And if that plays out, if these guys are going to generate fear, I bet my ass they will start to sell. They will start to sell. And maybe also miners, because Justin was sharing um, some charts about the situation of miners, and in my opinion, if that's going to play out, they will absorb a lot of bitcoins. They need to, if that's the case. Worst case scenario, and that would be extremely bearish, is if we are going to skip the accumulation phase and we just go from the redistribution directly up, because that means they don't want to buy Bitcoin. They just want to distribute even more. They need to buy, of course, to push the price up and to trigger the pump. But as soon as they notice that other market actors is going to push and to buy more because they think, hey, it's a bull run, it's a bull run, then they will stop to push up and they will start to distribute. If that's going to happen, and I don't have a crystal ball, okay, I know about theories, I have a lot of experience, I know how institutionals work because they are my clients. But yeah, if that's going to happen, then it's extremely bearish because that means they don't want to buy more, they just want to sell more. And I really hope that's not going to happen because they will surprise me. And really, so we will see. Market maker declined, lifted up, declined now a little bit, nothing big, and that's it. Okay, so if we take a look here, let me go here. It's a better way, so I have here just one entity. If we take, for example, we had end of May, so May 25th, they declined their balances and they reached a level of 5,090,000. That was even more than last year. If you notice that here, I mean, these guys last year, just to make a comparison, what they did. Last year they spent 160,000 Bitcoin. They declined their balances by 160,000 Bitcoins from, I mean, declining means they sent these Bitcoins to OTC, to centralized exchanges as a preparation. So that's where the weights ratio, it's starting to indicate it's going up. And CryptoQuant last year mentioned that the weights ratio was very, very high, just close before we nuked. So also something that shows how accurate and how helpful weights ratio is, but of course not as the main indicator and to guide your trading based on weights ratio only. That doesn't make sense. But as you see, so that's really interesting. They declined by 160,000 Bitcoin. They prepared, they sent them here, they started to sell, and then boom. And that's exactly how I was showing you. That's aggressive. That's really aggressive. That's capitulation. That's how you let people capitulate. Oh, we are done. Dump. Oh, we are done. Dump. Oh, we are done. Dump. Okay, I give. That's fine. I'm out. That's capitulation. That's how it works. We are not there. Capitulation didn't happen here. Capitulation didn't happen here. Capitulation didn't happen here. So I'm still missing the situation of capitulation, and that's how it works. That's how these guys start to absorb from weak hands. And that didn't happen. So that was a foretaste, and maybe many of you just remember I have said this in the analysis. If these guys are going to generate fear, that's a foretaste of what could happen next. And yeah, so as you see, I mean, we did 25, 26. It was something like, but compared, it wasn't really a capitulation. People started to long again. People were starting to say to the moon, 40K, 45, we will see, I don't know, we will see 40K before 20K, and so on and so forth. And of course, we have both extremes. We have the extreme bears and we have the extreme bulls. I try to be realistic. I know some people say I'm biased. I don't care. I really don't care. I spent so much money in altcoins. I'm still holding. I don't care what the people say. If they say I'm biased, yeah, it's okay. They can say I'm female. I don't care. So, um, yeah, that's something we need to wait what's going to happen next. But in my opinion, we are seeing in that range here a rising wealth ratio, indicating, like here, that we are not done. And the big thing is still to come. Hopefully, the capitulation. But yeah, I mean, you know my favorite scenario. 25, whatever it was, 25.7, 25.6, or whatever, form the double bottom there. Let them just for 1 day, 2 days accumulate, maybe push a little bit more down, fake rallies down a little bit. That what we did here at 25, and believe me, many people will then capitulate, many of them, and then up. That's the point where disbelief starts to play out. People would say, no, no, that's a fake rally. That's not going to go up. That's a fake rally. And we will go up. And they will miss it. And they will short. And they will liquidate them. And they will short. And they will liquidate that. That's how it works. And we need to be smart enough to see that scenario, to detect that, and to say, we are going to buy now, we are going to accumulate, and so on and so forth. So I really hope these guys have this scenario in mind and they want to bring fear to the market. They want to accumulate because, yeah, they will surprise me. If they are going from here just up to 40, 50,000 just to distribute even more, that means we will afterwards we will have a huge problem because then these guys know something we are missing, and it's not going to be bullish because SEC is talking about stablecoin regulation. What's with crypto? Where's the crypto regulation framework? Why nobody is talking about? I mean, yeah, we had a proposal by senators in the US, but it's a proposal. That's nothing. If you are realistic, a proposal, they will take a look to that. That's a bill. They will modify it. You remember what happened last year. That's a process. That will take a lot of time. That's not going to happen just in a few weeks or months. If you think that, you don't know politicians. That's not how it works. Not in Germany, not in the US, not in wherever. Well, maybe in China, but not here. And so that's something we should have in mind. And yes, I would like to know how the new or how the regulation framework related to crypto looks like. Nobody is talking about it. Absolutely nobody. So we need to see. And here we go. What should I say? Since yesterday, no big news, a very quiet market. I mean, personal conclusion maintains the same. We have 32K, we have 30K, we are above of 30K. So as mentioned before, 30K now works like a support, and we have 32K their resistance, just based on the gamma walls. And that's why we are missing now to dump below of 30K because of this support we have, and that's a big one. So in case like we did before, just to cross that area, we had to push up very hard, and we did it every time. Every time we did that, even if we went to go down, we had to push down hard or just to push up hard to cross to have this break of the 30k support resistance like the 32k. And you see, I mean, you don't need to go to the 32k. They react very sensitive. If you are going to be very close to the price, they react, they trigger sell resistance, and they start to push the price down again. So they need a lot of stablecoins. They need a lot of money to push up above of 32k. Something it could happen, but at the moment, yeah, many are not expecting to see a price until next Friday expiry. Maybe weekend. We know they also like to scam pump the price on weekends, so it's possible that we will see next weekend 32, 33k. Um, but in my opinion, 28.5 above of 28.5 have a retest that fails, and we will see prices below of 26. In my opinion, below of 27, 26, we will go back and form my lovely double bottom like we did here, and that's here on Binance, and we did 26.7. Wasn't that? No, it wasn't. We did another one, didn't we? No, it was that. Really? 26? Was Coinbase 25? Let me change to the daily one. Oh no. Yes, it was 26. Well, 26.7. Okay, that's also fine. So we need to go down to the 26.5. There would be something like a spring, double bottom, and then up. That would be crazy. But for that, I would like to see something like, oh, that's white. We need white volatility, then down, double bottom, and wait a little bit, and then up, and then hardcore up. That's something I would like to see. I don't need 25. I don't need 22. I don't need 15. Mark my words. If the whole macroeconomic situation, the geopolitician situation related to geopolitics continues, we will see those prices in the future anyway. I know bulls will say, I hope you both, I hope you accumulated because that was the last opportunity to buy Bitcoin below. Yeah, and they told us last year the same story. They thought you were so dumb, you didn't accumulate 30k. That was the last time we have seen 30k. Yeah, and we have seen prices below of 28k this year. And to think we can't see Bitcoin next year in a price of below 20k, it's just not true. Because that's how the market works. We can make 100k. I never have said it's impossible that Bitcoin can make 100k. It can, but it can crash to 15 afterwards. That's possible because for the whales and for the market makers, that's profit, pure profit. That's how they make money. Why not? They don't need to convince you to trade. You will do it anyway. As soon as you see 60, 70,000 aggressively pumping, you will say, okay, I missed 20k, I missed 30k, but no, it looks like we are going to 1 million. And the same is happening right now with those people saying we are going to crash to 15k right now. In my opinion, it's not going to happen. Not now. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe something comes out and they sell the next regulation framework means we are going to forbid Bitcoin. Okay, then maybe we are going to crash. I don't think that it's going to happen now, to be honest. I don't think so. So I think we will see something like here double bottom, or really, if that's not enough for them, because we did that several times. People said that's the bottom. That's the bottom. No, that's the bottom. No, that's the bottom. Yeah, no, the bottom is where the market maker says it's the bottom, and you will see that because then they will start to accumulate something I'm still missing. People are saying, yeah, but wallets with more than 10,000 bitcoins are accumulating. I don't care about wallets with more than 10,000 bitcoin. Just spend 5 minutes, go to BitInfo charts, for example, and check just all these wallets with more than 10,000 bitcoins, and you will see, surprise, surprise, many of them are linked to exactly exchanges. A lot of cold wallets here, a lot of hot wallets. I mean, of course, the first four Bitfinex cold wallet, Binance, BTC Reserve, OKEX, Bitfinex, OKEX, Binance again, OKEX, CoinCheck, whatever. You will find a lot. So I don't care about wallets with more than 10,000 Bitcoin because nobody can tell me that these Bitcoins are not just a reserve on an exchange. That's how it works. So I really don't care when they say, yeah, but they bought 1,000. Oh, how do you know that? Maybe it's just Binance or Bitfinex or someone else. I want to see, for example, everything below of 10,000 Bitcoins, where I know we have much less wallets linked to exchanges. I know that's an interesting range of entities. And when I see they're accumulating like they did last year, okay, when I see, okay, it's going up, but the price is going down, it's going down, fake rallies and so on, something like we are seeing right now, okay, with this fake release, but they are distributing, buying the dip, but distributing. So they are buying the dip, selling the top, buying the dip, selling the top, but they are not accumulating at the same time, and that's what we have seen last year. I'm still waiting for that. So if these guys are making the last big profits, in my opinion, we should really see, I don't know, just to go even down. And I really, 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 I'm not kidding. I really hope we are going to make that double bottom. That would be extremely nice if that's going to happen. We don't need to go now just more down. But in case of, and if we say, okay, they are starting here fake rallies, that will be an indicator. We then need to check how the entities, what's happening with their balances. If, for example, the balances is not rising, but at the same time we see that the Bitcoin reserve on exchanges is rising, while we don't see big inflows anymore. So then we need to be very careful because that means these guys know we are tracking them and they let their both Bitcoins on the exchanges just after, because if they withdraw these, they know exactly they will trigger all whale alerts, and you will say, "Oh look, Inspo 30,000 outflow. Oh look here, 15,000 Bitcoin," like last year, and people will say, "They're accumulating." So we need to be very sensitive to all data and check what's going to happen then. Something at the moment it's not happening. In my opinion, right now it's not happening. So if they start here fake rallies, red distribution completed, that was the last stage. Now we are here, okay, maintain a little bit, fake rallies, blah, blah, blah. Spring, go up, bit down, up. And many will get here the max of fear, and that's where disbelief starts. That's it. That's the whole story. Afterwards, up, 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 up. And if we will see a new all-time high, I really have my doubts because institutionals, I don't think they are going to buy big if they don't know what the regulation framework is going to be. But maybe they have insider information and yeah, they know what's the framework. We don't know what's the framework, and they will just accumulate because they know, hey, it's going to be very crypto friendly, and for us, it's not going to be a big pain. So let us buy spot. So we will see what's happening. It was a very long video again. I really try as much as possible to give you just to explain how institutionals work. I'm changing a little bit and bringing a little bit more educational stuff right now. I know some of you don't care, that's fine, then stop the video. You don't need to watch it anymore, but many of you cares about, and I want to give you the opportunity um, just to give you a little bit of my experience. And also, I mean, I'm not 20 years old. I have some years of professional experience in the banking sector. I know how institutions think and what they love to do, and I just try to give you a little bit this yeah, this experience on that way, plus the data I have. Unfortunately, yet only without. I'm starting to mix Spanish with German and English. That's really wow. Unfortunately, with the exchange walls, and hopefully, really, I can activate my credit card and I can pay my subscription there, and that's it. Big love to all of you. Be careful. We will see. I'm really convinced we are so close to have the day of the days. So close. But we need a little bit more of patience. I don't know if it's going to happen tomorrow or the day after, maybe even next week. I don't know. But based on option trading, we know above of 31K until Friday, it's not going to happen, it seems. So we will maintain right now the price below 31K and maybe even go down to 29.5 again. And then next week we will see. Big love. See you tomorrow.